Starting a new football manager save is very exciting, but it can also be very daunting, especially for newer players. So today I would like to go over 5 things that I love to do on day one of a new save to set it up for success. Now, these might not be the 5 most important things to do, but these are 5 things I like to do. And if you have anything else to add to this conversation, please put your top 5 things you like to do in a new save right away in the comments below. Here we are in Football Manager on day one of a new save as Wrexham in the Vanarama National League in England. Keep in mind, some of these things that I like to do may change depending on my club, what level I'm playing at, what kind of challenge I'm hoping to do, but I'll try and keep it generic here so that these tips can be helpful for you as well. The first thing I like to do is head over to my staff and head over to responsibilities and make sure all of my staff responsibilities are what I would like them to be. Make sure to go through this list and read carefully. That way you can see kind of, is this something I want to do? Is this something I want the AI to do? This is where you can set up the save how you like it. So you are taking control of the things you want to do and you are passing off the other things to the AI. For instance, I like to come in and make sure that I am assigning the scouts. I do not want the AI assigning the scouts in my game. However, I do always go to media and I always delegate all of these press conferences to whoever it is on my team that does the press conferences. I really don't enjoy doing them. I attend the new signing ones because I think that's fun, but otherwise Steve Parkin here can take the rest of them. Other highlights include coming to advice and reports and making sure that my youth development information is actually being provided by my head of youth development. That can be a problem for some folks. Another one that I like to do is come here through to where is it match, and I like to have someone else lead our friendly matches. Steve Parkin is going to lead our friendly matches. I really don't have the time in the day. I only have so many hours to play Football Manager. I don't want to be playing the friendlies as well. There's like 57 league games plus cups plus all these things in the English tiers. I don't need to do the friendlies as well. Now that you got your staff set up, let's head to number 2, which is in training. This one is really simple. I like to go to training. I like to go to rest. And I like to make sure that if you are fully fit to be training, that you are training at double intensity. This is the best kind of, at least for me, I think this might be common Football Manager strategy. For me, this is the best setup to allow players to train properly, avoid injuries, but also get the most out of their training. At Wrexham, we have good training facilities. And if you are fully fit, I want you training at double intensity. This will help players get the most out of the training, get those attributes up, and help me have a good time in my game developing my players. I encourage you to experiment, but if you're going double intensity for players that are tired after the match before, you're just gonna kill them. You will actually murder your players, and then that's a crime. So I think this is a nice setup, and this is number 2 in the things I like to do right away. Number 3 is making sure that I have all of my staff contracts out on day number 1. I want to be staffed up right away. At the beginning of a new save, the staff available will be kind of limited to your club's knowledge, and simming forward a few weeks isn't going to change that a whole lot. So getting your staff signed up on day 1 is very helpful. My favorite way to do this is to go to staff search. Let's say I'm looking for a scout. I have 3 open positions. I go to staff search. I click new search. I go to quick. I go staff role, I go recruitment team, and then I go to scouts. So now I am looking for scouts. Then I go to advanced. I go staff role is a scout, not partially a scout. I click OK. And then I sort by rating. You can change everything here if you'd like to look at contracts or whatever. I'm going to sort by rating, click to the top. And then these are the highest rated scouts, which means they'll probably have the best attributes. It's not an exact science, but it's a good way to do it quickly while still probably getting the best scouts available. You can click on Phil Wilson here. He is a very good scout. He might be a little bit too much for us, but then you can come in and approach to sign them right here. Once you have done your 3 scouts, you're going to come in, and then let's say you need some coaches, is a coach, go to OK, sort by rating, and you are ready to go. If you are playing at a bigger team with a higher budget, with more reputation, with more ability to hire better staff, or to at least be a little more picky than Wrexham, feel free to come in here and you can start adding attributes you'd like to. So I want a coach, and let's say I don't have a coach that's very good at attacking. So I'm going to come in here, make sure my attacking attribute is at least 14, let's say. I probably won't have anyone show up. Holy smokes, I do have a couple of people show up. Then I can see these 3 coaches are these 4 coaches are the ones that have at least attacking 15, and that's one way you can start narrowing down the kind of staff members you'd like. The 4th thing that I love to do on day 1 of a new save is come and check out the finances. This can be very helpful for you. A lot of people will just look at the transfer budget and payroll and scouting budget, play with those, adjust the numbers, and be like, well, that's good. I know everything I need to know about how we're going to Scrooge McDuck this save. That's not all. I like to come through and I like to look at our projection. If we go on course here, we pay all the wages, we just spend the normal amount of money, where are we going to look in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years? If Wrexham continues his course here, we're going to be down 202,000 pounds by the end of the year. At the end of 2 seasons, we're going to be down 4.66 million pounds. So even though if I just go to the summary here and I have 7,000 pounds per week able to spend, if I actually spend that 7,000 pounds per week, these projections are going to get worse. So it's just good to know what kind of state, what kind of financial state your club is in, so you can kind of, prepare for if I play as Wrexham and I don't get promoted in the first season or two, we're going to start having some financial problems. I'm going to have to start selling some players. This is actually really helpful in a lower league save like the one I'm doing with Wrexham here, because if I need to find 5 million pounds, I can't just sell a player and make up 5 million pounds. If I was playing as Nice in Ligue 1 and I needed to make 5 million pounds, it's probably a little bit easier to do, right? So these numbers are also relative. This is a fine financial outlook if you're playing as a much bigger team, but as Wrexham, if I don't get promoted, if I don't kind of change the way things are going, bring more people into the stands, whatever it is to make more money, we're going to have some problems in a few years, and it's just good to be aware of that. Also good to check in if you have any debts or loans. I actually played a beta save with Anderlecht in Belgium where the financial picture looked really good, and then I came and we had like a $50 million bank loan or something. So it's just good to know what your loans are, when you're going to have to pay them off. This can really help you prepare if you have a really good transfer budget right now and in 6 months you have to start paying, 25,000 pounds a month in interest on your debts. That transfer budget's going to go away really quickly. So again, just good to prepare you for the finances. The other part of that too is, of course, coming to your squad, going at contract here, going to salary, and trying to figure out, are you paying appropriate salaries for the players? Are your highest paid players really your best ones? Is Ollie Palmer? Ollie Palmer is very, very good for this level, so that's totally fine. We're paying him a ton. But every once in a while, again, at my beta save in Anderlecht, we had a defensive midfielder who is very good, Amadou Diawara, I believe his name is, but he was making 77,000 pounds per week in Belgium, which was just too much for us to pay. So it's just good to know, fringe player, 4,000 pounds a week, Ben Tozer. You know what? If I don't need him, am I trying to get rid of him to save this 4,000 pounds and allocate that somewhere else? This is also part of the finances, is figuring out which of your players you're just spending too much money on, where getting rid of them would probably be better than actually paying them their salary. And finally, thing number 5 that I like to do at the first day of a new save is come into the dev center and just see where we are at with our youth development. Part of this is understanding what kind of facilities you have. We have pretty low youth facilities, so getting new gens that are very, very good is going to be difficult, but we have pretty good training facilities, so training them should be okay. We have Scott Butler here. This is important to know because Scott Butler, right, is a center back with really good potential who can kind of slot in right now at a decent level. And we just went to our squad and saw that we had a center back, Ben Tozer, that we might be looking to get rid of because he's making 4,000 pounds a week. So it's good to come into your dev center, see which of your players are kind of coming up here, which ones you need to loan, the ones that need attention here. Why do they need attention? Are they not developing? Are they on the wrong team? Do you need to move them to the under 21s, to the under 18s? Do you need to send them out for loan? Ones to watch here, right? Coming through, Dan Davies. Okay, 1.5 star, 4-star potential. He's a left back. Maybe he'll come through. Right? Kai Evans. Just go through these players and make sure you have a really good understanding of the youth of your team, which players could be coming up, which players need to go out on loan, and which players you're going to be looking to sell on. Because they're young, they might still fetch a good fee, but they're never going to make your first team. At a lower league team as well, this is very, very important. Look, Scott Butler is making 500 pounds a week. That's not a ton for Wrexham, but it's not nothing for Wrexham either. And if I know he's not going to get any playing time with us this year, he's 19 years old. If I can send him out on a loan and save that 500 pounds a week, all of a sudden these finances, these projections start to look a little bit better. So this is all interconnected, and this is why I love doing this all on day one. You may have noticed that I forgot one glaring thing that you're also going to be doing on day one, and that is creating a tactic. There are 2 reasons that I didn't, want to touch on it too much. One, because it kind of needs its own separate video for how to create a day 1 tactic. The second part is you have to do this on day number 1, so it's not very helpful as a piece of advice because you need to do it. The other things you don't need to do on day one, they're just things I like to do, which is more in the spirit of this video. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button for a video on how to create a tactic with a new team. I'm going to do one honorable mention though, one honorable mention. Make sure to come through here and check your preferences. Make sure they are to your liking. Depending on where you play the game, I play in North America, so it automatically sets all of these kind of financial things to dollars and annual salaries. I prefer in football terms to work with pounds and weekly. You can change this to whatever you like though. If you want to do the Chilean peso, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, whatever it is, whatever currency you want, whatever salary you want, make sure to go through here. Make sure your auto saves are set up as well. If you would like some auto saves, this is the place to do it. If you don't want to have your match sounds, whatever it is you want to adjust in your settings, come through here. I like to run a 5-file rolling autosave, but these are just some things you can do. Come to advanced, check out all of the settings, and make sure they are to your liking on day number 1. That's it. That's all for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure to check out the links in the description for a Twitch stream if you want to watch me play Football Manager live. We also have a Discord server as well you can check out. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.